Hi, this is Darren Long from Delta Harbor Assets, and this is Long on Gold. Well, this has been a very busy week for Delta, so thank you to all the new clients, to the clients that repeated business, and a lesson learned that although we're hearing a lot in the media right now, and certainly through the YouTube channel and space, about different facets of the silver market, there is an underlying set of fundamentals that have been at play for many, many years. In fact, I started in this business back in 2004 and have been part of the physical realm of gold and silver investments since then. And ultimately, this market is built on a few very simple building blocks. Those building blocks have never changed, and they present, at least in silver, one of the best opportunities for investing in an undervalued asset that I have ever seen in my entire life. So although I greatly appreciate the latest realm of supercharged emotion that has gone into things like the Reddit groups and all of this discussion about the youthful generation of investors picking up on this notion of undervalued assets like silver and all this alleged shorting that's happening in the marketplace, I really want to make sure that people watching this understand that silver has an inherent undervalued taste for an investor that I think should be examined with a fine-tooth comb. The US dollar, it's falling, it's failing, it's going to long-term not be a good currency, and eventually it will stop being the reserve currency. The threat of inflation. We've printed so much money around the world. That's not going to stop anytime soon. And ultimately, we want to challenge ourselves to know more about that. So educate yourself about that threat of inflation and its impact on precious metals. Long before the Reddit group was around or any of the big, huge analysts, the threat of inflation was pushing silver back up to $52 an ounce in January of 1980, throughout the entire 70s, and in through all the last four big, huge bull markets in the last 100 years. That threat's still real, and going forward with all the money printed will certainly have an impact on silver, which outside of all this discussion of Reddit groups and what different smaller groups of people might or might not do to the price of silver will no doubt have an impact on the long-term silver price, which makes it a fantastic way for you, in our opinion, to diversify your holdings. If you want to be more speculative, certainly you can try other paper alternatives. But if you're looking for actual physical silver, then there's no better way to get it than through a firm like Delta. So stick to that. The other thing is geopolitical instability, and then lastly, supply and demand. And on that front, we really have a lot to say. But in today's video, what I wanted to touch on is whether or not, based on all of this information that's coming to light in the last few days about movements in the paper, big paper vehicles for silver and gold, and whether or not this product actually exists in those storage facilities, I wanted to shed some light on it via our experience at Delta and my experience in the last 17 years in this industry. And my own personal belief is that there's a transformation occurring, that in fact what we're seeing, what we're witnessing right now, is that the mainstream is finally waking up to the fact that literally between 1% to 2% of you around the world have some exposure to gold or silver, either paper or physical. This is not a bubble. It's nowhere near a bubble. And the prices of silver and gold have a tremendous hill to climb before we can even begin discussing that we're in any type of bubble. So I think that silver presents, based on those building blocks, a tremendous opportunity for you to A, ensure your wealth, to B, look at diversification as a tool to sustain your wealth and to grow your wealth. And lastly, if you combine that with gold in some way, shape, or form, you're holding on to two assets that have, when you look at them on paper, been averaging between 10 to 12% almost in every single major currency for the last 20 years, which is an incredible thing to be able to say about something we've participated in during that time. Now, as far as the inventory is concerned, there's a lot of silver out there. It's not as plentiful as it used to be. We do not have an above ground supply of it anymore that's meaningful of any type. The last one we did have was back as far as 2005, which was really the last year the US Mint had a stockpile of silver that they used for their mintage program, their coinage and whatnot that gets minted every year. And since that time, we've had no major stockpile of silver that we can boast is actually real, exists, we can see, touch, and know about on a regular basis. It may exist somewhere that we don't know about, but as far as the market is concerned, real silver, physical, hold in your hands, tangible silver is almost all over the world a just-in-time commodity, meaning that it is being dug out of the ground, it is being delivered in raw form to the fabricator is making it into the bars, and it's going out to the market. So although right now there is still a supply of silver to be had by investors, the moment people wake up and the mainstream start to buy silver and start to invest in physical silver, like the case this last week, over the last 2 weeks, and all the demand and the small dealers running out of product, which hasn't happened at Delta. We still have plenty of product. So if you are viewing this, call us, open up an account, find out about our bullion pricing. It's on the website, and we'd be happy to have you come aboard. But in actuality, it's just that COVID has really put a dent in the amount of fast timing that we have for logistics, that we have for easy transportation of the product. And it means it's taking a longer time to get it out to the public. Now, that being said, as the mainstream wakes up to this, they're going to realize silver is trading less than $28 an ounce US right now on paper, which makes it an incredibly undervalued asset, considering that you do not find it at a rate of 16 to 1 in the Earth's crust anymore against gold, which is its traditional ratio. In fact, you find it much closer to the actual number of ounces of gold that are in the ground right now. There's not a lot of it to be had. We don't see a lot of mines propping up anywhere, and we don't see new lines of source material coming onto line. You have but only a handful of real serious large mining operations. Otherwise, the majority of it is a byproduct of other types of mining: gold, copper, zinc, lead, other types of mining that they find accidentally, silver. So with all of this stuff happening, it's just as equally important, and the message today is to understand that those building blocks, those underlying fundamentals for silver and for gold are strong. They are going to be what take the market to 50 an ounce, 80 an ounce, 100 an ounce over the next few years. And those are the reasons why, as a silver buyer, owner, investor, whatever you want to call yourself, those are some of the reasons why we think at Delta you should have this as part of your portfolio. Again, we're not your planners or advisors. Talk and do your due diligence when it comes to buying or owning any asset or investing in any vehicle. But I do believe that if you look into that story beyond just Reddit or what's happened over the last couple of weeks, you will find in silver a truly undervalued, fantastic opportunity for you as an investor to make fantastic returns for the long term, year over year, with some opportunities to make very unheard of returns in the short term. Again, we want to make sure that you understand we are not here for the short gain. We are here for the long term, and gold and silver, something you should have in your portfolio for the duration of your investment life. We are always available. DeltaHarbor.com is our website. You can look us up on any of the various social channels under Delta Harbor. If you want to subscribe here to our YouTube channel, please do so. We'd love to have some new subscribers since this is a fairly new program for us. And this, again, is something we're going to grow over time, and we have to do it with you. So if you like what you hear and you want to know more about physical gold, storage, delivery, bar types, all of those things will be coming very soon in our educational series and as part of our ongoing channel to help you, the investor, make more money. This has been Darren Long from Delta Harbor, and this is Long on Gold. Have a great day.